Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be building a 3-story modern house. I got this idea. I was looking at pictures online to kind of get an inspiration for a modern home I wanted to build. And I saw this super cool house that I really liked. So this house that I'm building now is kind of based off of like the front image of a picture. So I didn't know what the back or the sides looked like. So the front that you can see me start to make right now is the only part of the house that I could see. And I couldn't see like any of the layout or anything inside the house. But like when I saw it, it like looked super modern and just like really pretty. Like if I lived in a modern house, like that's definitely the house I would want to live in. Although I don't think I could ever see myself living in a super modern house. But that's just me. Plus, I would never live in a super big house because I watch a lot of Criminal Minds and I feel like there's too many places for different serial killers to hide and then kill me. But anyways, yeah, so we got kind of like the shell of the house going. And then right here I'm starting to move some of the like the ground and kind of move it up to, so like that part that right now where we're building up the ground. Excuse me, I'm getting over a little bit of a sickness right now, so you'll probably hear me cough a few times. But yeah, I'm building up that ground right there because there's not a bottom floor to that level. I wanted the entrance of the house to technically be on the second floor. So there's a first floor, which is not the first floor of the house. It's like the downstairs floor. And then there's the entry level of the house, which is technically the second floor. And then there's the top floor, which is really the second story. So it's a 3-story house total, but it's like different because it's up on this landscaping. So it's kind of, I mean, you'll see when it's all done and everything, it'll make more sense. In this part, we're just going to be doing just the outside frame of the house and all the landscaping and stuff. Because when I say this house is taking me a long time, this house is taking me a long time. Whenever I play with just like landscaping and the terrain tool and all that, it always takes me so long because it's so finicky. Like if you like barely even touch or go the wrong direction, like it can just like destroy what you were working on. And so there's a lot of parts of this part that I'll kind of cut and like jump through because I was literally sitting there for, I mean, probably at least 30 to 45 minutes trying to figure out how I wanted this like land to look up on this hill and like as part of also the land. And then what is super frustrating, and I still to this day cannot figure out, is why, like, even though I built it to the height of the floor, what looks like the floor, because it's giving me that it's all flat and everything, but it's saying that when I put a pillar on that level, that it's not the same level as what's on the house. And so I like sit here and keep trying to do it for so long, and I end up finding a different solution later in the recording and whatnot. But I don't end up figuring out this part right now, which ends up being really frustrating because I wanted a lot of, like for this like back of the house, I wanted to still have as much shape as in dynamics as the front of the house did. And I didn't want it to just like drop off in the back and be nothing. And so I wanted like some really cool open porches and balconies and stuff on the back. And it was just really not working for me, which was really upsetting. So I mean, I think in actual time, so the recording that you're going to see is like 26 minutes long, like not long at all. Just building the shell of this house and building the like landscaping and all of that took me, I think it was like an hour and 20 minutes or an hour and 15. It was a little over an hour. I'm not really for sure exactly. I can't remember, but a little bit over an hour, and it took a long time. But yeah, so I had to split this video. So my last colonial home I built was a bigger home also, or actually, I consider that a medium-sized house compared to this one. But that one, I was able to split into 2 parts. This one, I've had to split into 3. So this build, and then see, like, this pillar randomly starts having some platforms on it. And, I don't know. I was getting so frustrated. You'll see me playing around these pillars for so long. What was I saying? Oh, yes. But the colonial build was only 2 parts, and probably all together took me about an hour and a half, or no, I'm sorry, 3 hours. So each part was about an hour and a half-ish when I like divided them in half. And then this now, with this video itself, was like an hour, a little bit over an hour. And then the second part of it is me kind of doing the floor plan for the whole house, and then I furnished I don't think I furnished the bottom level in that video, did I? I furnished the entry levels, like the level that people like enter the house on, like that whole, so like the kitchen, the living, dining, master bedroom, master bath, and all of that. But I don't think I furnished downstairs or upstairs. So I think it was doing the floor plan and then doing the middle level of the house, and that probably took me, I want to say that video was like an hour and a half at least, or an hour and 45 minutes. It was a long one. It took a while because my computer, like towards the end of the video, I was noticing that like my game was starting to lag more and more because it was starting to overheat. Like it was a big save file, and so I was like, oh, I need to cut this video or else the quality is just gonna go downhill. And so I did that. You can see me trying to smooth out this train again to see if that helps with the pillars and everything. But anyways, and then the third part I actually haven't recorded yet, because I've been sick. So this past week, yeah, because I think the last video I posted was like, I don't even know, like last Saturday or Sunday. But like right after that, like that Monday or Tuesday, one of those days, like I started getting, I thought it was just a sinus infection, but then I was feeling like really hot and dizzy and just like all around sick, you know. And so, and then I started coughing and then my voice started going. And so I was like, well, nobody wants to listen to like a groggy person's voice. And then water break, hold on. What was I saying? Oh yeah. And so nobody wants to listen to a sick person talk. And so then I was like, okay, well, I'll just not record for this week and have better quality videos and it'll be fine. And so now I'm finally getting to do a voiceover for this first part, which I built this house starting, I think it was like, gosh, probably now at least a week ago. And the second part maybe like 5 days ago. And then the third part I haven't completed yet because I've just been so sick and whatnot. But you'll see at the front of the house, I figured out how to make a patio coming off of that front area by just extending out the box and then taking it back in and whatnot. Oh, I have to sneeze. Wait. Oh, no. Nope, I'm good. Wait. Nope. Okay, I think I'm fine. Anyways, and so I think I go back and end up doing that for the back because I solved my problem. I want to say I fixed it in the back, unless I left it. I'm not for sure. And then right now we're just putting in the stairs, and I noticed that the hill we had going on was too steep to have stairs going down the middle, and so that wasn't going to work. And so I end up actually also shifting the whole house because the stairs are too close to, like, I wanted double, like, stairs going up, and these stairs were too close to the, like, the main sidewalk because you have to have an extra block, and I couldn't get it with what I had. And so I ended up shifting the house a little bit, which is kind of hard because I already made this giant hill and everything. But luckily it moved, like, part of the hill back, too, which I didn't know it was going to do, so that was pretty cool. And so the stairs ended up working. But what's super annoying about this staircase, which you'll see kind of later on in the video, I was trying to add railing. So I added railings to the stairs. Those are fine. But then I was trying to add fencing to, like, that in-between part. And because of the way the stairs are, like, landing on the, like, grid and whatnot, it was making it look like it was overlapped. And so it just, like, looked terrible. So we'll see it a little bit later in the video. But it was, like, super annoying. And then you'll see here I'm, like, trying to build this up to this height again. But, like, the tool wouldn't let me go any higher. But then it does it here. So I was so confused with the terrain tool. I mean, I think, what was it, Sims 3? We had terrain tools in Sims 3, right? I don't know. One of them, like, the terrain tools were so much easier to use. Like, these, I just wanted it to snap to the level that it was. And please comment if I'm, like, doing it wrong. But I could not, like, get it to, like, go high enough that where it would, like, go level with the bottom of the flooring. And it was just a living nightmare. It was awful. I got really upset. So at one point, I just, like, kind of gave up and decided that I would just put, like, the little half mini stairs right there, which I still think looks pretty good. And the railing that we end up going with right here is the railing. We end up changing it later on because I don't think it really goes with the aesthetic of the house. So we end up changing it because, like, right now it looks, okay, wait, so you can kind of see it right here. So if you look really closely, you can see that, like, the fencing rail goes a little bit past the railing part of the actual stairs, so it looks weird. I don't know if you caught that. You kind of have to look really close to see it. But I could see it while I was building, and it was annoying me. But yeah, so I feel like we wait until the end to, okay, well, we changed these here, but I think we end up changing these again at the end because I wanted them to match the glass fencing that I use for the balconies around the house, and that one didn't match, so I'm pretty sure I'd change it, I think. Who knows? I guess we'll see in the video. Like I said, the problem with doing, like, these voiceovers, like, after it's been, like, a week since I've recorded everything, it's so hard to remember what I did, which, of course, like, I mean, I couldn't help it, I was sick, whatever. But yeah, so right now I'm adding And just some glass fencing around the balconies, obviously, so our Sims don't fall off and die. Not that they could, but if they could, then I wouldn't want that to happen. And then I'm starting to notice that I can't put my fencing around the top level of the thing because it's saying that the flooring for the patio is not the same height as the flooring that's on top of those pillars. And so I do the same thing that I did in the front of the house, and I pull out this wall. Like, I push everything back in, and then I pull out this wall to the balcony height I want, and then I just make an extra wall and delete the outside walls and make it into a level patio. And that's how I figured out how to do it, which is probably not the right way to do it. And I'm sure there's a much easier, more effective way to do this, but I could not figure it out, and so I could not do it. But I think it ends up with the same like appearance, so I think it ends up looking good in the end anyways. I don't think it looks bad or anything when it's done. I actually think it looks pretty good. But yeah, so we're just finishing that up there. I have to sneeze again, guys. Does anybody ever have that, like, where you have to sneeze really bad and then it just sits there and it drives me insane. Like, it's just like this little tickle, and it's only in like one nostril. Like, it's not both my nostrils need to sneeze, it's just one. It's just like irritating my brain. It's very sad. Now we're gonna put it's like a half wall, but like a half wall, if that makes sense, around the top of the building. So we're not doing like an actual full-on roof for this house because it's more of a modern build. So it just tends to look better with more of like a half wall kind of crowning around the top. We do end up putting this really cool slanted roof like in the middle of that top area that just kind of adds a little bit more dynamic to the house, which I really like. And then now we're trying to find out which wallpapers we want to use. And the picture that I saw, the house it was pretty much just like this really pretty wood, and then it had like these spots of like just like this solid concrete, and it looked so cool. And I couldn't find the exact colors that were in the picture, that like the combination that I really liked, but I think it looks pretty good like when we do it this way too. And I can't remember, but I feel like in my second video I kind of edited the landscape in the front. So like at the end of this video, I didn't finish the landscaping in the front of the house because I think I wasn't feeling good, or I was really tired and it was late, and I was like, oh, I'll just finish it in the second part. And so I ended up going back in the second part and fixing the landscape in the front and make it look way better. But I think I also change or add some pieces of the wooding wallpaper around the house to add a little bit more of like popping to it. But when it's all said and done, it looks really good. And I added this right down here. I'm trying to build like kind of like a makeshift looking kind of garage, but we don't end up making, like on the inside for the floor plan, we don't end up making it look like a garage. We just have it as kind of like the downstairs area where I believe we put the laundry down there, and then that's where the butler will be, his little quarter area with his bathroom. And then also there's like just kind of like a big area where I think we'll kind of make like a teen hangout. Like maybe they'll have like a really big movie screen and just some couches and like a video game system, kind of like a fun area. Or I might make it like a skills building area. Oh, or I could just make it like a indoor gym. I could do that too. But from the outside, it kind of looks like it's supposed to be a garage, or it's or something along those lines. But I think it ends up looking really good. But now I'm adding the detailing, the black topping of those half walls to the top, because it just adds some dimension to the house. And I'm adding, I actually don't know what these are called, but I'm going to call them frames. I'm adding these frames to the bottom level floors of each of these walls because it makes the transition between the wood and the gray slate pop really well, and it actually makes the house come together like really nicely. So when it's like all done, like trimming and everything, oh, I guess it's just called trim. Is that what I said before? I don't know. But anyways, it makes the house look super distinctive and like actually really good. And then once we pop those windows in there, it looks really nice. I actually am like pretty proud of this house and what I did with it. I think this is because I don't usually build like a whole lot of modern homes. I do build more traditional like family style, like cozy family style homes. Ooh, water break. Family style homes, not water style. That doesn't make sense. But family style homes that are more traditional, like, and kind of cozy. And so when I build like what I consider a really nice modern home, I get like really proud of myself because I'm like, wow, this looks really good. And I like don't ever really build modern homes. I am also a window crazy person, and by that I mean that I love windows. Like if I had a super modern house like this, you best believe you wouldn't even know what like the color wallpaper would be for the outside of the house, because there would be that many windows. You would maybe see like a hint of the not the wallpaper. You maybe see like a hint of the brick or concrete or something like at the top or bottom of the window, but literally every single one of my walls would be covered in windows. Because I feel like if I had like a modern house like this, then I would probably have like it's somewhere out in the forest or something like that. Right there, I was changing my Spotify song that I was listening to. Sometimes when I build, instead of just hearing like Sims music, or like if I'm talking to my husband, or I'll watch Criminal Minds in the background. But at this point, I think I was home alone and my husband was out doing something and I didn't feel like watching Criminal Minds. And so I had music playing on my headphones and I was like, oh, I'll just jam out to some music while I build. I've now mentioned Criminal Minds twice, so if you didn't know, I'm a huge fan of Criminal Minds. But yeah, so just occasionally you'll see me like changing my music and whatnot. There was one part of this video, I ended up cutting it out because it was like way too long. But I was trying to build, and my husband, he went to get some time with one of his friends, and oh, that's when I went in and out. He was going to get some time with one of his friends, and whenever he like turns on his car and gets in his car, his phone automatically syncs up with his phone automatically syncs up with Spotify, and it will then mute whatever I'm doing, or if I'm in the car listening to it or something, because we share the same Spotify. And so there, like that little quick black screen that you saw right there, I had like cut, I think it was probably like 2 or 3 minutes where we were going back and forth, like pause, play, because he didn't know I was listening to it while I was trying to build. And so he just thought that, like his thing was acting up, and so he kept trying to play it and stuff. And so finally I had to call him and be like, can you please stop? Like, I need to listen to it. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that's what you were doing. Anyways, so yeah, so I had to cut that part out because it was like a super long time of us just like fighting over who got the music, basically. So it was kind of funny. Anyways, but yeah, so that's what that quick little black screen is. I meant to cut that, but it'll be fine. It's okay. Anyways, so yeah, so now we've kind of added all those windows, and doesn't it look like it's just coming together so nicely? I think it looks so good right now, y'all. Like, I'm really proud of this house, and just like the thick black detailing of the windows, like around the sides and everything. I actually also think that I held myself together very well and didn't add a crazy amount of windows. Now, not to say there's not a lot of them, but I think they're very evenly placed, and I don't think I went crazy. And then right now I'm just adding some sidewalking and some pathways around the house. And then I also changed the railing around the patio and stuff because it was that white or light gray before, and it didn't really make sense because all the trimming and stuff was black and the window was black. And so I went ahead and fixed that. Then right here I was trying to do like an infinity pool type kind of thing, but then I just like decided I didn't like it. And I was just going to make a normal pool for normal rich like people, because definitely if you own this house, you're probably rich, because this is a very nice house. I actually don't know at this point when I'm building it. Sorry if you hear my dog's nails on the floor behind me. She's trying to play right now, even though I'm trying to work. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. I have the worst like short-term memory loss. Like, I can just be talking about something, and that also makes me like the worst interrupter too, because like if I do not say what I'm thinking, like my thoughts will go and they'll like leave out of my head, and I will have no idea what I was trying to say. So like most of the time I'm like the worst. That's like my biggest fault. Like, I need to work on interrupting people, or work on not interrupting people. That's my biggest fault. But anyways, so now we're working on the background. Once again, we ran into that foundation problem because I was trying to connect the fencing or whatever to the like post of the house where that balcony is, and it wouldn't let me because it was saying that it was different heights or whatever. Not that I don't know why you couldn't connect one fence to the other and it just be like, because it wouldn't have mattered what size. I don't know. Anyways, but it wouldn't let me, and so then I just added that cute little feature of like having that tall bush plant thing, and I think it actually like blends pretty well. Like, I don't think you can even really tell that it doesn't fully connect. Plus, Sims won't be able to walk all the way around it anyways. And then right there, I just added the, it's like a flatter kind of fencing. It's more of like a trim, like a floor trim kind of thing, around the pool, so that I could use this train paint and make it like a perfect square kind of path, like it was actual like path laid down and not like fake stuff. And then I changed the pathway going to the house too, because it didn't make sense the way it was before. And then right here, I'm not like totally in love with this path color. I'm actually not that impressed with like the options that we have. And so I was trying to see if I liked any of the other colors better, but I really didn't. And so I decided that I would just go with what I had. But yeah. And then now I'm realizing that I went this whole way and built all of this without having my move objects cheat on, which is like crazy to me, but I guess it's not as big of a thing because I wasn't like furnishing anything and I didn't have to move like little knickknacks and things like that around, so I didn't notice it. But then when I got to the point where I was having to place things down and I was trying to move it and I couldn't do what I wanted to do, I was like, why isn't this working? And I was like, oh my gosh, my move objects cheat is not on. That never happens. And then now I'm putting the even flatter like floor trim around on the bottom around the path of the pool and everything. And I'm trying to change my music, but the Spotify was being like super laggy, probably because I was trying to run my Elgato like recording software plus my Sims game and trying to run Spotify, like all three at the same time. And my poor computer was just like, can we please like turn off? Can we be done? I'm too tired. And then I realized that I didn't have a back door to the backyard and all that. And I was like, well, I should put something in. And then I don't know if I realized it in this video or in the part 2 video, but I realized I didn't have any windows or doors in the balcony areas. And so I ended up going back and fixing that. But I don't think I do it in this video. I think I do it in the part 2 video. I'm pretty sure. And by pretty sure, I'm not very sure. So who knows? Like I said, this was a week ago. I need to get better at doing my voiceovers as soon as I record. Drink break. But yeah, so now we're just adding little knickknacks of different landscapings and trying to figure out what we like. And then I was trying to decide, like, I kind of felt like the family that lived here was probably like not like a super young couple with family, but probably somebody who is like, it's not a starter home, obviously. So like maybe they've had like 1 or 2 kids, like they have a teenager, they have a child, and maybe a toddler also, but they're kind of like in their late 30s, early 40s. So they're, they've been saving up their money. They're pretty far into their careers. They're able to afford a house this size. But I was thinking, well, they probably also still have a pretty young family. And so I was thinking, oh, maybe they would have a swing. And I was going to do a little kiddie pool and whatnot for the toddlers. But then I was thinking that I thought it kind of ruined the aesthetic of the house. So then I didn't like it. Because the little black swing, like fits in perfectly fine. Like, it doesn't really ruin the aesthetic. But then the little kiddie pool kind of was irking me. But I'm sure when, like, the summertime comes around, I'll just, like, stick one out there. And then I can delete it whenever, like, we're done playing with it, whatnot. And then it won't be a big deal. Not that I have any intention of playing in this house. I'll probably just end up posting it to the gallery and then never using it. But who knows? I am thinking, so right now I have my Cassandra Let's Play that I'm doing. But that's a runaway kind of teen challenge, not teen challenge, because I'm not doing it based on all those rules and stuff. But like once I have her as a successful writer and everything, I've been trying to think about what I want to do for my next Let's Play and stuff. And I'm thinking I might want to do either a generations challenge where I would probably start off with a boy and a girl, and go from there and like make their generations and whatnot. But my problem is whenever I do a generations challenge, I always end up like making myself or like my family, and then I get so attached to them that I don't want anything bad to happen to them. And so then their lives are boring. And so for my generations challenge, this would be like the first time I would build like a large generations of family without it being my direct lineage. And that way I could kind of mess with their lives and not make it like so cookie cutter perfect, because I would be okay that like one of them died or, because it wasn't actually my family kind of thing. I know they're just Sims, but I still get attached if they're my like figurative child, even though they're not real and I don't have any children. I don't know. Does anybody else feel that way? Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm thinking about either doing that, or I may do some type of like supernatural Let's Play with vampires, or I could even do like a vampires generation game. I'm not really for sure. I haven't fished it out yet. I might decide to have like 2 going around at once, like maybe the generations one, but then also having maybe a supernatural one going on at the same time. I really like the vampires pack, but at the same time I like rarely play with it. And it's annoying to have in your game when you're not playing with it because there's just vampires everywhere. But yeah, so those are things I'm considering, so if you have an opinion on that, drop a comment down in the comment section and let me know if you would prefer a generations Let's Play or maybe some type of supernatural Let's Play, and I'll kind of start fishing out ideas for that. But right now I'm just finishing the front landscaping and the sides and everything. I ended up hating these trees when at this point I've literally been working on the house for like an hour and a half and I'm like exhausted and I'm like, oh, this looks fine, this looks fine. And then when I went into part 2 to record, like on a new day when I was like fresh minded and stuff, I was like, oh my goodness, I hate these trees, I hate where this mailbox is, I hate these bushes, and like I ended up changing a lot of stuff, and I do think it looks like a ton better. But like, yeah, how I finished this house in this part, I was literally just so tired at this point that I was just like, okay, we're done, okay, bye. So how it looks at the end of this video in the front is not how it looks at the end of like the whole entire build. But yeah, so this is about, so yeah, I finished like putting these little trees and plants and stuff, and then I hate it, so I'd start deleting everything and then kind of like get frustrated. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop a like and a comment in the comment section, and hit that subscribe button. And if you turn on your notification bell, you'll know anytime I'm posting. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.